Melanie. Are we shy today? Planting flowers. And she's starting new seeds over here in the trays. I think she extended the lettuce bed. We have more salad, right? Lettuce? Yeah. Okay, she's got more lettuce to do. I'm emptying boxes. I'll show you what I've been up to over there in the wood shop. Right now it's a beautiful, partly sunny day. Full sun on the solar panels, which I'm hooking up. We'll get back to that in a minute. That's why I grabbed my camera. All I did right now is I laid out the wire, and we're gonna do that on camera as well as I can. Oops, I've got a solar rope light out here I want to set out in the sun. Charge that up. I'm gonna wrap that around on the wood shop and tack it in. Been working in the shop. Emptied a bunch of boxes and I'm sorting things out. Definitely I gotta resort and straighten up the shelves when I'm done, but I'm getting things going on here. I got boxes going to individual things: garage, electric fence equipment, garage, plumbing, hunting gear. There was some stuff mixed, but I'm getting it. Soon I'll have the bench top cleared off and I'll start working. So I borrowed a miter saw for the project I'm working on the other day. The other day. Mine's still in New York. I have to go back and get it. But there's that. And then I've been working in the electrical shop as well. So we'll take you over there. I'm going to shut the door here. It's windy, so I got to keep this door shut. This door I just keep propped open. I have a solar fence controller charging up in the sun. Well, it was. So over here I've got my clean up my workbench a little bit, and I'm straightening out, organizing things. Wire goes up in the top and the rafters and some other various things. I got some panel meters over there and Arduino stuff over here. Capacitors and the generator and the Bedini will stay on this workbench running full time. And then I've got the second battery bank down here. My old one I've got hooked up to a Harbor Freight solar charge controller. Now when I set that up properly and neatly, I will do a video on that and show you how to hook up the Harbor Freight solar panel kit. So I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate that. So that's going to be a separate video. For now I just got it in, clipped it on. The two newer batteries from 2014 I have under charge on the charge controller. The older batteries are going to be hooked up to the Bedini motor because they need to be restored in a bad way. So, and then these guys are all just happy. So now what I've done, let me take you outside. I've got the wire in here and I stripped the ends. This is the new wire I just bought. And yes, for now I simply ran it through the side of the building. I don't see anything wrong with that. There's no stress on it, no strain. I can tack it down in that channel. I think that's beautiful. I don't see why anybody would be mad that I don't have that in a conduit. It looks absolutely beautiful there. Some wire tacks in there, and I don't see why that can't stay there. But I'm sure somebody's going to tell me why in a minute. But anyway, I've got the second set of wires going in, and I've run it down, and I braced it under the Harbor Freight panel, and I ran it out, trying to stretch it as tight as I could. I ran it out to the solar panel rack, and then I wrapped it around, brought it up to roughly where it's going to connect, and then I ran it back loosely to see if it'll reach the other wires, because I was hoping I had enough. So now I'm going to splice this. I'm going to cut it, and then hook it up to the solar panels, and we'll get some power in there to the TriStar charge controller. Now the Renogy is still hooked up to that one over there, so I've got to change that over. Got full sun on the panels right now, beautiful, but there's no power being used from it. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to do this right now, and then I'm going to get disconnect boxes from probably Lowe's or Home Depot next time I'm in there, and I'm going to wire them the wires from the solar panels are going to a disconnect box and then up into the solar panels themselves. So I can quick disconnect by pulling out a lever. So let's get to it. I gotta get my wire cutter. And I'm hoping that this will work out, that I have enough wire when I'm done. So, wire cutter, wire stripper, and this is already pre-prepared, and I forgot to show you inside. I have the wire hanging here, just big enough to get to the TriStar. I opened up the TriStar and got it prepared, and then I went and grabbed the camera. So I've got the TriStar's panel meter sitting down here, and then we'll do that in a few minutes. First I want to hook up the power out here. I want to run the wires, and then I'll plug it into the TriStar, and then I'll plug it into the solar panels last. Well, there's a lot of current passing through here too, so I gotta be careful. Alright, I'm gonna cut that wire right now, and then we'll be back with the camera in a minute. Hey guys. Alright, I'm gonna run this into the TriStar charge controller. In behind all the other wires here. You might want to bring some slack down later. Yeah, I'm going to have to add some slack in there. And white is going to be positive. I don't know if you can see me, but white is going to be positive and go up through here. They are not connected outdoors, by the way, not yet. Okay, there's nothing connected out there yet. I'm just going here with the wires. Now I've got my screwdriver. Go ahead and connect the negative up into the negative terminal. Negative of the solar goes into the negative connector on the TriStar. And then tighten that down really nice, really good and tight. Alright, and then the positive of the solar panels goes into the positive lead on the TriStar. Take off my ring while I'm working by this bus bar, just to be safe. I'm going to get into another video on battery and electrical safety soon. Alright, and then I'm going to tighten that screw down nicely. Hope you can see where I'm working. I don't know if I'm in your way. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the meter back on the TriStar so we can see what's going on when I plug the panels in. The meter is awkward. It's a tiny little lead goes in there. Take my ring back off. I don't know why I put it back on. I don't want my ring on while I'm working around electrical stuff. Yeah, it's always been awkward to get in there, that meter wire. Very awkward. If they could only give you just a couple inches more, it's not like the wire costs that much. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. I never could really get that in there very well. Alright, I'm going to get that out. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, for now I cut the wire a bit shorter because it's going into a breakout box later. And I'm just stuffing the wires in here. It fits right and tight. If you use 10 gauge, it fits in really tight. So I can't do this with one hand. But I'm going to stuff it in here, and later I've got the connectors for these. So when I'm done and I get the breakout box, which will be this week, or the cutoff box, then I'm going to wire the proper leads to the solar panel to the box, and then this wire will go into the box. Alright, well I'm going to connect that up and we'll go on inside and see what it looks like. It's so perfect, the cloud passed by just as I was hooking that up so I don't get a spark. And we have 93 watts, 87 watts. We're in absorption mode. Turn on a light. We have power coming into the TriStar. So the MPPT solar charge controller. Energy dropped down to nothing because I haven't synced up the battery connections yet on them. So the energy dropped down to nothing. We have 90 watts in absorption mode on the TriStar. That would pull a whole lot more, but the batteries have been just sitting here idle and charging for days. So once I start running some things in here and pulling some power, we'll start really seeing some energy come out of those 600 watts of solar panels. These two wires here are connected to just two of the solar panels from now, so that's 600 watts. I will be adding 2 more panels to that array. So for now, we're looking good. Hi Melanie.
Hi.
You got quite a salad garden going on here.
I just finished.
Yeah, I think I'll probably put up the electric fence on here too to protect our salad from critters, because the critters will want to.
Look at that. Is that one that's not?
That's spinach.
Is it spinach?
Yeah, that's spinach. We have kale, lettuce, spinach, different kinds of lettuce. 4 different kinds of lettuce, it looks like. Gonna be interesting salads. Rain is on its way and moving fast. So I had to run around and clear things up, put tools away, put equipment away. I'm getting some wood in the shop for working. I want to make some shelves for my wood shop, or my electronics lab. I'm going to build them in the wood shop for the electronics lab. And I've been sorting more out here. But anyway, gotta get back to it. I'm out of breath from running. We're in float mode. Morningstar TriStar is only taking, well, it's taking 0 watts. The Energy has taken over at 1.5 amps, which is about 18 watts of power. 18-20 watts. Not much. 1.2 amps. Really dark and gray out. The storm hasn't hit yet, but boy, it's moving fast. Really moving fast. Anyway, pretty gray on the panels. You know, I've got 3 sets going on right now. That's a temporary situation until I get everything wired up properly. Tomorrow we are probably getting the cutoff boxes for the big panels. And then I'll be hooking these up nice and neat and proper. What are Melanie and Felix doing?
We're playing.
Felix loves you so much. Well, Melanie is making a pattern. Let me see here. There. For the baby, right, Melanie?
Yeah. It's Stomp Baby Quilting Blocks. It's a blanket.
A quilt. You're making a quilt for the baby?
Quilt.
Nice. Sewing it yourself. That's the baby's first blanket. Is that a truck?
Yeah, it's a truck.
Yeah. Alright. So Melanie's been working on this for days and days and days in her free time.
And it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of work, right?
It's a big one.
Yeah. And Felix helps. He's so cute. He really loves you.
Helps to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Melanie's been home decorating. There's some wall hangings here. And we got some things over here. And we got one of my favorite paintings right here. Got that from a house clean out long ago. I really love that. It's just a peaceful scene. What else we got? There's another one over here. Oh, she's got, except for my random pieces of paperwork that I'm still sorting, she's got the dining room decorated beautifully. Little clock that is running, by the way. And I still have some random things on the walls here and there. We have a bug zapper because the mosquitoes are bad. And then here, Brian, yes, we do love it. She's got some things down here. Actually, it takes a prominent place in her living room. Melanie put that there, by the way. And she's got some things here. In all thy works acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And this is one I've had for years. I never showed you guys. I would love to go camping this summer, preferably in a hotel with room service and a pool and spa. And there's some antique things she put up. Or was that there before, Melanie?
It's there before.
That was there. She just left it there. We got some random hangings out here. Those are antiques that we had in our tiny house on wheels. So she's beautifying the place. And you can tell that there's a girl here. Everything's pink. Everything's pink in the bathroom. Many will be happy to see that I'm putting heat shrink tubing on here. Although I did notice that even if this had slipped down, the insulation would have touched insulation before the metal on metal. But I am putting heat shrink tubing on these. So thanks guys for letting me see that. I did not honestly see that when I put them together. But I am doing that right now. And what I've done is I've cut a piece of heat shrink tubing. I'm going to attempt to set up the camera to show you as I do it. So I'll take the negative terminal off here. Carefully, very carefully, holding things together. Pull that out, pull the negative terminal off. And now, make sure this doesn't get crossed around that. That should be behind that. I gotta secure all my leads neatly here. And I'll put the heat shrink tubing on the wire. Slide that on. And then, carefully set that down. And get I have a little pencil torch from the dollar store. Alright, it's just a little butane refillable torch. And turn it on. Tell me it's running out of gas already. Well, that's funny. Well then, we won't use the pencil torch. That did not last long at all. We will use a trusty cigarette lighter. Works just the same. All we gotta do is just apply heat carefully without melting it. So I'm holding the flame below it, but not close enough to burn the heat shrink tubing. Okay? A little bit of breeze I'm getting it from outside isn't helping me at all right now. Wait a minute. Might have to shut the door. I don't have a heat gun. You don't have to have a heat gun to do this. All you need is a source of heat. There we go. Nice and safe lead, negative terminal here. So now we bring that in here carefully and put that on. And now there's no danger of shorting. Nice and tight. Put that back in the corner and we are good now. I just dismantled a pallet that I got for free. It was just a very short, it had 2x4 ends and just 4 pieces of wood. And a middle piece, and I got some beautiful 1x6 lumber. Beautiful. Which is going to be shelving for my office along the long wall, up on the wall. So I'm going to cut it, measure it, and hook it together. Sorry about the wind. And mount it to the wall. Got my mobile workshop set up here. I'm loving it here. It's a new Homestead, very much. And I've got a pretty good start on a set of shelves. I've got a 2x4 which I'm just going to screw onto the wall. I know it's overkill, but that way it's not going to bend. then I'm putting pieces of pallet that I cut for reinforcing support to stop sag in the middle and hold the two together. That should be fine. I'll keep the weight towards the back and the light stuff towards the front, and I think I got myself a set of shelves here that'll hold them together and provide strength, and those will be, of course, fastened through from behind, and the whole thing goes in the wall. Gonna be good. Alright guys, I have my shelf put together, and I've got some boards temporarily screwed on to the height where the shelf is going to be, and then I'm going to rest it on there and fasten it to the studs. Now later I will remove that when I insulate the walls, but I don't have the money for the paneling, so, and I do need to work. So a lot of people have been asking, why don't you do the walls first? Well, I have the insulation but not the paneling, and I don't want to have insulation up in case of mice. Mice love the pink insulation, so you got to cover that stuff once you put it in. Anyway, that's my excuse. Well, there you have it guys, a new shelf in my new office. Now I still want to put some nails through the walls. I'm going to one screw on each stud plus one nail is how it's going to be. So we've got it. Now I can start working in here, clean this place up, clean off my desk, and get working. Now we're getting there guys. Now we're getting there. I got my table almost all cleaned off. I'll figure out a system here one day. I'll get everything set up. But looking better. I emptied 4 more containers today in here. Those plastic containers plus a couple boxes. So doing good. I put a screw in to hang some cables. It's another reason I use a 2x4 in there, so I can hang cables wherever I want. Test wires, cables, whatever. I might put a second screw next to that so there's not so much strain on the wires. But looking good. I am really starting to be happy with this setup here. Well, Melanie called for dinner, so I gotta go. I'll be back in a little while if I have time. Depends on how much daylight is left. But today is Wednesday. Oh, nope, that's it. It's time to go. Alright everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Good night.